I mentioned the LZ experience before, trying to emphasize that the NVAVC and LZs are always looking for a good opportunity to take out you and your helicopter. An infantry outfit was receiving heavy fire and taking a lot of casualties out toward the Cambodian border. 10 of our Hueys with 6 infantry fellows on each were on the way to help them. It was decided we would land between our guys taking a beating and the enemy. Always a very scary scenario. As we flew closer and lower, we could see a whole lot of gun smoke and smell blood. We came down firing at the enemy by holding the trigger down on our machine guns from the left side as the friendlies were on the right side. My helicopter was about number 6 in the line. As we touched ground and the infantry jumped off and hit the ground, I could see some of them being hit by bullets. I was shooting away when my AC said that he was hit in the left arm and could not pull pitch on the left collective control. Just then, the Peter pilot said that he was shot in the head and blinded. Seemed like we were going to wither away in this bloodbath. Suddenly, my machine gun stopped firing. It never stopped firing since my early days as a crew chief. I never jam it. I could always depend on my M60. Just then, 5 NVAVC jumped up from the ground about 40 yards away and were looking directly at me and charging. 4 were shooting their AK-47S at me, while 1 had a satchel charge apparently ready to throw on the chopper. They must have come from an unseen trench connected to a tunnel system. The battle was taking place in a defoliated woody area. I had a fully loaded M16 ready to go hanging on the wall next to me. Life and death decisions are made in split seconds in these intense battle situations. I quickly looked down at my M60 and realized the ammo belt was not in it. I decided on the M60. I quickly lifted the receiver and slapped the loose ammo belt in it, closed it, and began firing at the 5 enemy directly running at me. They all went down like sacks of potatoes fast. Did I hit them or did someone else see them and hit them? I don't know. There were walls of bullets flying everywhere. I kept shooting at where I figured the enemy was. Then my Peter pilot said that it was his plexiglass front shield that was hit by a bullet. He was still blinded but could pull the collective up for the AC so we could get out of the LZ. So the AC was the eyes and was controlling the cyclic control arm and tail rotor pedals, and the Peter pilot was pulling up on the collective control arm. We barely lifted off the ground and flew about 100 yards when the helicopter began to violently shake. I yelled, "Put it on the ground." They did, so we landed in an area that was about 200 yards from the battle. They shut the helicopter down. I looked around the helicopter to see what had caused the violent shaking. There was a bullet hole directly through a push-pull tube that connected to the swash plate that controlled the main rotor. It was certainly crash time. I began to set up a firing position in some shrubbery with the weapons and ammo. My gunner helped the pilot and Peter pilot. They were doing okay. We expected the NVAVC to be on top of us at any moment, and we were going to at least put up a fight. But luckily some more Hueys arrived with infantry and the battle somewhat simmered down. Then a Chinook helicopter showed up and I hooked up our helicopter to it, and our helicopter was airlifted away. And so were we by another Huey. When we got back to the base camp, my helicopter had 22 bullet holes in it. 1 bullet had cut my ammo belt to my M60, causing it to stop firing. 1 bullet shot off my back sight to the M60 while I was reloading it or shooting it. 2 bullets went through my case of fragmentation grenades at my feet. That really scared me. If a bullet set off the primer in one of the grenades, I would have blown my own helicopter sky high with 12 grenades. No more fragmentation grenades on my helicopter, and no more white phosphorus grenades hanging on my gun post either. I don't know how those AK bullets missed me, but they did. I had about 12 bullet holes all around where I was sitting. They tried, but no cigar. What kept me alive was some quick thinking and a whole lot of luck, pure luck. There were a lot of dead that did everything right, but it didn't save them. When torrents of bullets are going every which way, who gets hit and who doesn't depends on a lot of things, and one of those things is pure luck. It was about a month before when some of the gunners and crew chiefs in my flight would walk up to me with a smile on their face and rub their arm and shoulder against my shoulder and arm so that my seeming pure luck would rub off on them. Ha! I got a big kick out of that. I pretty much was one of the undeclared head crew chiefs of both flights about this time. I was joined in this honor by Harry Hetrick, a great and very serious crew chief.